Oh, you thought T.I. and Tiny's drama was over. Think again. Because what just dropped makes the Will and Jada saga look like a Disney Channel episode. Tiny Harris has officially broken her silence. And when I say she's talking, I mean she's spilling tea hot enough to melt Wi-Fi routers across. Hollywood, after years of defending her man through cheating scandals, rumors and whispers that made even tabloids blush, Tiny has finally had enough. And the moment Sabrina Peterson leaked what she calls T.I.'s dark secrets, oh baby, the internet turned into the Hunger Games of receipts. We're talking DMIs, screenshots, names, and accusations that made people clutch their pearls and delete their own group chats, just in case. It's scandal, betrayal, and revenge all blended into a Hollywood smoothie that nobody ordered. But everybody's sipping because this isn't just another celebrity couple falling apart. This is Power Meets Payback. Wrapped in designer chaos and reality TV-grade tears, Tiny's silence wasn't weakness. It was the calm before a Category 5 storm. And tonight, we're diving deep into the mess that has T.I. sweating, Sabrina posting, and Hollywood watching like it's a live season finale. Welcome to Express, where no secret stays buried. It all began when Sabrina Peterson decided peace was overrated and chaos was long overdue. Out of nowhere, she dropped a social media bomb that sent the entire internet spiraling. Her post didn't whisper, it screamed. Words like dark secrets, T.I., and receipts were all in the same sentence. And that was enough to make timelines explode like popcorn in a microwave. The screenshots came first. Blurry messages, mysterious DMs, names half blacked out. And captions so dramatic they could win an Oscar. "You can't heal where they hurt you," she wrote. People froze mid-scroll, jaws on the floor, thinking, wait, she's talking about tea. Suddenly, every blog, gossip page, and podcast host went into full investigation mode. Sabrina wasn't a random ex-friend. She'd been close, the kind of close that gets you into private parties and closed-door meetings. But that closeness had curdled into betrayal. She accused T.I. of things so heavy, they made Hollywood's worst scandals look like playground drama. And while Sabrina aired everything like fresh laundry, the world turned to one person, Tiny Harris. For years, Tiny had been the quiet storm behind the flashy rapper. Loyal, poised, never messy. But this time, her silence spoke louder than any clapback. Fans begged her to talk. Blogs refreshed her Instagram every hour. And then she did not with a rant, but with a sentence so cold it burned. Everybody loves a story until the truth ruins the plot. That was it. 7 words that set social media on fire. People dissected every syllable like they were decoding ancient scripture. Was she defending T.I.? Calling out Sabrina? Hinting at something darker? Nobody knew, and that mystery made it worse. Within hours, hashtags exploded, memes flooded timelines, and commentators started calling it the Harris versus Peterson war. Usually armed with dictionary-sized words and lectures about morality, suddenly vanished. Not a single podcast, not a tweet, not even a passive-aggressive lyric. The silence was suspicious. It was like watching a magician disappear mid-trick. The louder the internet got, the quieter the Harris camp became. Meanwhile, Sabrina kept posting, each receipt bolder than the last. She claimed she had messages, documents, and proof that would shake the industry. Whether real or exaggerated didn't matter, because perception had already crowned her the whistleblower, and T.I., the villain. Tiny, still calm, started posting cryptic quotes and flawless selfies. Every image looked like a power move. "Peace always wins," she wrote under one. But peace didn't look peaceful. It looked strategic. People started saying Tiny was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. The internet was hooked. Old clips from T.I. and Tiny, the family hustle, resurfaced. Fans rewatching every episode like detectives hunting for clues. Every awkward glance, every long pause, now it all meant something. The narrative had shifted. This wasn't just gossip anymore. It was a cultural event. Love lies. and betrayal wrapped in celebrity gloss. And beneath all the noise, one thing became clear. Tiny's silence wasn't weakness. It was preparation. Because when the queen finally speaks after years of holding the throne together, everyone listens. And this time, she wasn't defending anyone. She was ready to redefine the story. You said part 01, ChatGPT said. It started like every Hollywood scandal. One post, one caption, one spark that set the entire internet on fire. Sabrina Peterson logged in, hit upload, and boom, chaos was born. The post wasn't subtle. It screamed, "I've had enough," in bold letters. And attached, a series of screenshots, text messages, and what she proudly called the truth they tried to bury. The internet froze mid-scroll. Everyone's thumbs stopped. T.I.'s name was right there, paired with words like dark secrets and receipts. You could almost feel Wi-Fi connections overheating from the rush of people trying to see what she'd dropped. Sabrina's message was more than a call-out, it was a declaration of war. She'd been close to the Harris family, the kind of close that knows too much, sees too much, and stays quiet until something snaps. Well, something snapped. She claimed she'd been lied to, mistreated, and silenced. And now she was done. Her caption read like a confession and a warning all at once. You can't heal in the same house where they hurt you. That line alone was enough to make millions wonder. Was she talking about T.I., Tiny, both? Within hours, social media turned into a digital courtroom. Everyone had a theory. Every gossip blog was on high alert. Twitter threads ran miles long, each user playing detective, breaking down timestamps and cross-referencing emojis. Sabrina's name shot to trending, and right behind it, Tiny Harris. Because when one woman throws a match, everyone looks to see who catches fire first. Tiny had been here before. Scandals, rumors, the endless gossip cycles. She knew the drill. Usually she stayed poised, elegant, untouched by the noise. But this time, she went silent. No posts, no comments. Nothing but stillness. And that's what scared people most. Because when a woman like Tiny, calm, classy, unbothered, suddenly goes ghost, something is coming. The internet begged for answers. Speak up, Tiny. Set the record straight. Don't let her play with your name. But Tiny was calculating her next move like a chess master surrounded by checkers players. For 3 days, she said nothing. Then she posted a single photo. No filter, no hashtags, no makeup, just raw defiance. And the caption, everybody loves a story until the truth ruins the plot. 7 words. That's all it took to detonate the timeline. Comments flooded in like wildfire. Is she calling out Sabrina? Is she admitting something? Is she shading T? Nobody knew, but everyone had a theory. Bloggers made videos within minutes. YouTubers threw red arrows and fire emojis on thumbnails. Twitter spaces filled up with fans dissecting her tone like it was a secret code. Meanwhile, Sabrina doubled down. More posts, more receipts, more claims that she was being threatened for speaking up. Her energy was pure vengeance, loud, emotional, raw. She said she had proof, screenshots, and stories that could end careers. And even though some people doubted her, plenty believed. Because in 2025, proof isn't as important as presentation. T.I., usually quick to jump on a microphone and drop a vocabulary lecture, stayed silent. No statements, no comments, not even a quote repost. The kind of silence that makes you wonder if lawyers are typing faster than he ever rapped. It was the quiet before the lawsuit storm. Then came the memes. Oh, the memes. Clips of T.I. giving speeches about morality were edited into TikToks with clown filters. Tweets read, T.I. out here fighting allegations with a thesaurus. Another said, Tiny defending T. I like it's the season finale of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Court Edition. But behind the jokes, something real was unraveling. Insiders whispered that Tiny had reached her breaking point, that she was tired of being the loyal wife in public while fighting battles in private. She wasn't just defending her husband anymore, she was defending herself. Her silence became strategy. Her one-liners became statements. Every post, every emoji felt like a chess move. Even her calmness looked like power. That rare type of control that makes your enemies nervous. Because silence in the middle of chaos is terrifying. Industry sources claimed Tiny wasn't going down with T.I. this time. That she was preparing to separate her image, her brand, her name from everything he stood for. They said she'd been sitting on truths of her own, things she could expose if she ever wanted to burn the empire down. So when Sabrina kept dropping her so-called receipts, fans noticed Tiny's energy shift. She started posting cryptic quotes about loyalty, betrayal, and peace. Peace, the kind that comes after a storm. And every time she did, Sabrina would respond with a new story or a snarky tweet. It was like watching two queens in a chess match, one loud and impulsive, the other silent and surgical. By the end of the week, the internet wasn't even sure who to believe. Sabrina looked like a whistleblower to some, an opportunist to others. Tiny looked like a victim to some, a co-conspirator to others. And T.I., he looked like a ghost, missing, muted, and cornered by the court of public opinion. What nobody realized, though, was that Tiny wasn't just breaking silence to clap back. Tiny wasn't just breaking silence to clap back. She was rewriting the entire narrative. She was done being the background character in T.I.'s scandals. For the first time in years, she was ready to stand alone with her name, her truth, and her version of the story might just flip everything we thought we knew. And just when everyone thought the storm was calming down, Sabrina Peterson decided to reload and fire again. Another post, another caption, another round of chaos, this time even louder, even messier, even harder to ignore. She uploaded a long paragraph claiming the Harris Empire was built on manipulation, deceit, and cover-ups. Every word dripped with venom, every sentence felt like a punch. Within minutes, the internet caught fire again. Comments exploded like popcorn. People were screaming in all caps, "She's back." She got more proof. This just got real. Screenshots started circulating faster than rumors at a family reunion. DMs, voicemails, pictures, and mysterious agreements all allegedly tied to the couple that once called themselves the King and Queen of Atlanta. Whether true or not, it didn't matter. The public had already picked sides. Half the internet was Team Tiny, calling Sabrina a clout chaser looking for attention. The other half was Team Sabrina, saying she was brave for speaking out against Hollywood's untouchables. And in the middle of it all, T.I. stayed silent like a man on house arrest from his own PR team. Then came the celebrity reactions. Reality stars, rappers, and influencers couldn't resist jumping in. One podcast host said, "Sabrina ain't lying. I've been hearing this for years." Another clapped back. "This woman's making up stories for likes." The divide was sharp, messy, and dramatic, exactly how the internet likes it. Even artists who hadn't spoken to T.I. in years started doing interviews like they'd just discovered morality. Everyone suddenly had a story, a theory, or a source close to the situation. Meanwhile, the memes went nuclear. One tweet read, "T.I. giving Tiny a PowerPoint presentation on loyalty right now." Another said, "Sabrina waking up every morning like, that's ruined someone's Tuesday." Every new post felt like an episode of a never-ending series. And with each twist, the audience grew. But behind all the noise, Tiny Harris was shifting gears. She wasn't yelling, crying, or ranting. She was plotting. Sources close to her said she was tired of being the silent wife, tired of defending a man while people questioned her dignity. She started posting subtle messages. Protect your peace. Silence is power. Truth doesn't need validation. Each one felt like a bullet wrapped in elegance. Her captions became statements, her selfies became symbols. And suddenly, she wasn't the wife of T.I. anymore, she was her own empire. But Sabrina wasn't backing down either. She started doing interviews, calling Tiny brainwashed and accusing her of protecting the wrong man. The interviews were emotional, raw, and shocking. Every clip was shared millions of times. People started questioning everything they'd ever believed about the Harris marriage. How much of it was love and how much was control? Then came the alleged confidential agreement. A blurry document leaked online with signatures that looked suspiciously familiar. Some said it was fake. Others swore it was real. Either way, it added gasoline to the fire. Suddenly, fans were convinced there was a bigger cover-up, something deeper, darker, and far more sinister than anyone imagined. Theories flew faster than UFO sightings. Some said there were secret settlements. Others claimed major networks had buried stories to protect the couple's reputation. Through it all, Tani remained unnervingly calm. Her Instagram feed looked like a spiritual retreat. Candles, quotes, family photos. But that calmness only made people more curious. Was she healing or hiding? One follower commented, "That's not peace. That's a woman planning her next move." And honestly, it felt true. Then the story took another twist. Celebrities began unfollowing. Quietly, strategically, one by one. Brand partners stopped tagging. Collaborations went silent. And still, T.I. said nothing. His silence became the loudest noise of all. Fans demanded a statement. Journalists begged for a response. But all they got was another cryptic post. The truth will reveal itself in time. By now, the internet had stopped caring about facts. It was about energy, drama, and vibe. People weren't searching for proof, they were looking for sides. Sabrina became the symbol of exposure. Tiny became the symbol of endurance. T.I. became the symbol of suspicion. The Harris family name, once synonymous with fame and power, was now trending beside words like investigation, receipts, and karma. And in true internet fashion, everyone turned into an expert. Threads appeared claiming to have the full timeline. TikToks broke down every clue Tiny left. Behind, YouTubers dropped 3-hour documentaries with titles like T.I. and Tiny, The Rise and Fall of Atlanta. Royalty. Everyone was cashing in on the chaos because in 2025, scandal isn't bad for business. It is the business. Tiny's response grew bolder. She started liking shady comments, reposting fan edits, and even throwing low-key shade through her outfits. One day she wore a shirt that said, "Unbothered Queen." The next day she posted, "Healing ain't weakness." Every move felt deliberate, and Sabrina's side noticed. The war wasn't just digital anymore. It was psychological. Tiny fought with poise. Sabrina fought with passion. And the world couldn't look away at this point. Every talk show, gossip channel, and podcast wanted a piece. People started asking the real question. What's the truth behind all of this? Was Sabrina exposing something real or creating chaos for clout? Was Tiny protecting her husband or protecting her legacy? The lines blurred. Nobody knew, and that uncertainty made it even more addictive. The Harris empire was built on music, money, and fame. But right now, it was running on pure controversy. Every word, every silence, every post mattered. And the one thing everyone could agree on, this wasn't over. Not by a long shot. Because once a secret leaks in Hollywood, it doesn't disappear, it multiplies. And the next bombshell. Everyone could feel it coming. Weeks passed, but the fire refused to die down. Every time the drama started to fade, someone tossed in a new spark, and the entire circus roared back to life. Tiny Harris finally decided she was done being the background character in her own story. She didn't drop a rant. She didn't cry for sympathy. She delivered precision strikes through interviews, carefully chosen words, and icy grace. When asked about Sabrina Peterson, she didn't flinch. She said, "People love pretending to expose others when they're really exposing themselves." That one line was enough to send the internet spiraling again. Clips of the interview flooded every platform within minutes. Her tone wasn't angry, was surgical, cold, controlled, like someone who'd seen too much and finally stopped caring about public approval. Hashtags exploded. Hashtag Tiny Speaks. Hashtag Expose Express. Hashtag Sabrina Lies. Her fans flooded her comments with heart emojis and praise, while Sabrina's supporters called her manipulative and fake. It was no longer a scandal, it was a cultural war. Sabrina didn't take long to clap back. She fired up her Instagram Live, her voice cracking between fury and tears. She called Tiny a performer and accused her of gaslighting the public. She promised more receipts, the kind that can't be denied. Within an hour, she posted cryptic photos and audio clips that she claimed were part 2 of the truth. Whether they proved anything or not didn't matter, the audience was already hooked. The media turned it into a headline buffet. Blogs screamed, "Tiny versus Sabrina, the feud Hollywood can't ignore." Paparazzi followed Tiny to charity events, shouting questions about TI. Reporters dug into old lawsuits and business deals. It was like watching a dynasty crumble in real time. Every move Tiny made, every word Sabrina said became content. But behind the digital chaos, something deeper was shifting. Tiny was reclaiming her narrative. She started focusing on her solo ventures, her kids, and her music again. A subtle way of saying, "I'm still standing." Her silence transformed from defense to dominance. It wasn't about clearing her husband's name anymore. It was about separating her legacy from his SHADOWT finally emerged after weeks of hiding, standing next to Tiny in a public appearance. He smiled for the cameras, talking about forgiveness, growth, and unity. But the audience wasn't buying it. His speech sounded rehearsed, his smiles forced. The internet roasted him instantly. One tweet read, "TI talking about unity, like he didn't just trend for betrayal." Another said, "Tiny looking like she forgave him, but her spirit still pressing charges." Still, Tiny stood there, calm, graceful, collected. Every gesture felt like control, every glance like strategy. She wasn't playing the victim, she was playing the long game. And that's what separated her from Sabrina. While Sabrina fought loudly, Tiny fought smart. She didn't need to scream. Her silence had already become a headline. Meanwhile, Sabrina's campaign of exposure began to lose momentum. The internet's attention shifted to new scandals, fresh gossip, and other trending messes. Some people began to question her motives, wondering if this was justice or obsession. The same followers who once cheered her on started saying, maybe she went too far. And in the world of fame, public opinion is everything. Tiny had outlasted the storm. Her interviews became more confident, her posts more empowering. She even said sometimes the truth doesn't need defending, it just needs time. The truth doesn't need defending, it just needs time. Fans hailed it as the ultimate clapback. Even critics had to admit she'd turned the mess into a masterclass in reputation recovery. By now, everyone realized this was more than gossip. It was survival. The Harris name might be bruised, but it wasn't broken. Tiny had taken control of the chaos and flipped it into power. While Sabrina screamed into the void, Tiny walked out of it in silence, wearing victory-like perfume. But here's the twist. The story still isn't over. Insiders whisper that more files exist, that other people know more than they're saying. Hollywood's rumor mill is still churning, hinting at round 2. Tiny might have reclaimed her peace, but the truth still lingers in the shadows, waiting for its next moment to break free. Because in this world, scandals don't die, they hibernate. And when they wake up, they come back meaner. The Harris empire may look stable for now, but behind the smiles, the cracks are still there, deep and spreading. And everyone's watching, waiting, refreshing their feeds. Because if history has taught us anything, it's that peace in Hollywood is just the quiet before the next explosion. And that, my friends, is the saga that had Hollywood spinning like a broken record. Tiny Harris stood tall. Sabrina Peterson went nuclear. And T.I. tried to play philosopher while the internet threw tomatoes. But in the end, only one truth remains. In the world of fame, the louder you scream, the faster they scroll past you. Tiny didn't need a meltdown. She weaponized silence. And in doing so, she turned public humiliation into a power move that'll be studied by PR teams for years. Now the only question is, what happens next? Will Sabrina finally drop the so-called final receipts? Will T.I. ever admit to anything? Or will Tiny rise like the ultimate comeback queen, proving that sometimes surviving the scandal is the revenge? Whatever happens, one thing's for sure: Hollywood's messiest stories never end. They just get sequels, so if you're still here sipping this chaos with me, you already know what to do. Smash that like button like it owes you hush money. Hit subscribe like it's leaking your secrets. And drop your hottest theory in the comments. Do you believe Sabrina's truth? Or do you think Tiny just played everyone at their own game? This is Expose Express, where gossip meets investigation, lies get cooked, and truth gets served extra spicy. Stay tuned, because the next scandal, oh, it's already brewing.